Good evening, guys. Well, it's a little bit of an unusual start. Excuse me, to the night or to the week. It's Sunday. I don't typically leave out on Sundays, but you know, I had the time. I was sitting there mulling over the next run. So part of this week's vlog is going to be going out to the East Coast, which should be pretty interesting. That's usually where my, East Coast is typically my bread and butter. I say typically, but yeah, typically my bread and butter is East Coast, New York, New Jersey. I've been to New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx. Yeah, I've been to quite a few of the boroughs. So luckily we're not doing anything super crazy like that, but we're going into Long Island. Excuse me, or as the New Yorkers would say, Long Island. However, in order for us to start to make our way down there, we gotta take an empty here down to Middleville, Michigan, and then we're going to pick up a load there from the same place, and then that will bring us to New York after we pick that one up. So I've got a reefer in tow right now, but we are going to be picking up a dry van, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. Dry vans usually aren't terrible, and it makes it a little bit easier on fuel economy out east. So yeah, it's a bit of a rough start to the night. I'm not gonna lie. This is what's got me going right now. A good old juice monster. I think they call it Rio Punch. Remember, kids, caffeine is bad for you. I would not normally recommend it, but it is one of those nights where we need that extra little bit of a boost. Now this week I'd like to focus, I don't know, I'm thinking of some talking points. Real quick, let's listen to this. Oh, that turbo spool. Oh, that's a nice sound. So I'm thinking that one of the talking points I'd like to, been thinking of hitting on this week, and maybe going forward, is music choice. Maybe an artist of the day or a song of the day, something like that. Obviously I won't play it because copyright and all that fun stuff, but it kind of got me thinking. I listen to a lot of music, kind of all over the place, really. I love metal. I'm definitely a metalhead at heart. Where I got it from, I have no idea, but there's something about being able to knock out some really nasty riffs that, I don't know, it does something for me. But I'm thinking that we might do something like that where we can, I don't know, maybe it's a point of discussion, but I figure it might be worth mentioning and throwing out there every so often. which I guess that means I'll have to start listening to new music. And while call me old school, but I like what I like, and I don't typically like trying anything new. So, but with that being said, we're currently going through Holland, Michigan on the map right now. Got about 43 miles or so until we get up to Middleville. Luckily, it should be a quick in and out. Shouldn't be a whole lot of lollygagging with that. I think we're gonna spend more time lollygagging with red lights tonight than anything else, because they were that bad on my way into work tonight too. But yeah, we'll catch back up here in a little bit. Tonight might be I might turn this into I might make tonight and tomorrow one whole video. So it might be a little bit longer. I might be able to condense it a little bit, but we're only working for a little bit tonight. So, but I guess we'll figure that out after we're done filming stuff for the night. So, yep, we'll catch back up with you guys in a little bit. Originally we were supposed to just take off this morning and last night, pick up that trailer and take off. Well, we got in there and they said, you know, they got a sign there that says the security office checks people in at 7 a.m. So what we did was we hung out there from I think like 12:30 to about 7:30 and got checked in, and apparently they didn't have a problem with that, with the fact that I was just hanging out there throughout the night. So, which is a really big deal because a lot of places won't let you stay on site, but I figured since it's a drop lot, there might not be, they might not have too many problems with it. But we got this trailer in tow. We won't be able to make it all the way up to New York tonight. Unfortunately, it's a 12-hour drive. We've got 9:56 on the clock. But that was kind of to be expected because this doesn't offload till 11 a.m. But we won't really have too much time to sit around and wait on things, just because once we hit the George Washington Bridge, traffic will be fine going in. It'll be once we get into Long Island is when it's going to go downhill pretty quickly. So obviously making sure that we
in the two-seater. She hopped in, drunk smile, said it's good to see you. What you thinking about skipping downtown tonight? Race a coupe back home, grab the four-wheel drive, kick a dirt rock road up to a tree line. Stop and look at her and say, you ready? Better hold on tight. Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up an old dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. That's just my countryside. We post up on the bank, drop a tailgate, windows down in the cab, bumping George Strait. We paid a couple lines and we foam on out. Red Bible ripple bouncing on a cool night. Fire dancing, making shadows in the moonlight. She leans in close in the bed of my truck. And I said, let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up an old dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. That's just my countryside. Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up an old dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. My countryside. And there ain't nothing like my countryside.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we have just finished our 30-minute break in Hubbard, Ohio at the Flying J. One of my main go-to places out east. Probably one of my favorite pilots. It's one of the very few pilots where no matter what time I get here, I can always stay here. There's always spots open. However, the pumps are always super chaotic. So unless I absolutely need to get diesel, I'll either wait till the morning or I'll just wait till I get further down the road, at least on my way back. But we try to buy diesel in Ohio rather than Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania's fuel prices are pretty extravagant. But I apologize for the this view here. We've been, since the weather's getting nicer, we've got more and more clouds of bugs that have decided to well, end it all, to say the least. I'm pretty sure it's a war crime on my front windshield. But we're gonna hop back out on 80 here, 80 eastbound. And luckily we don't have a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of scenery right now. Which, I mean, I try to get enough heading into Hubbard, because heading into Hubbard can be pretty nice. But I'm also trying to save up a lot of camera space for some good scenic photos here and there. But I believe the goal for today is we're going to finish off these last 176 miles. And we're going to stay in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania at the Flying J. And then we'll be up really, really early in the morning. I mean, we're talking very early in the morning. Probably, from the looks of it, 3:30 in the morning. And then drive the rest of the way in. Which, I mean, if things were to go perfectly, we would be projected to get there at like probably 8:30 in the morning, something like that. But frankly, it's let's see, what do we got? We got 7 hours and 13 minutes, and it's 2.5 hours. So it might actually not be that terrible of a drive in. But I think that's how I did it last time, if my memory serves me correctly. I think that was how I did it. But yeah, it's a good bit of driving. It'll be a pretty full day. We got 4:04 for drive time, and 2.5 hours. The extra little bit there probably won't make a huge difference. Plus, we need to be up early. Our second delivery doesn't offload till Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. in Philadelphia, which that one's, I can get in there and I can get into that stop as early as I want, and they're really cool. It's a nice truck. You know, I like my old school trucks. You know, obviously I got my 13 speed here, but I've driven some of the newer trucks. I've driven the newer Cascadias. I've driven the old Cascadias. Boy, I've driven pretty much everything except for a Volvo sleeper. I drove a Volvo day cab once or twice, and I was not a fan of it. I think they're garbage. But my last company was the first company that I had ever driven a Kenworth with, and that was a 2022. That was like, I take it back, it was like a 2021 and a half Kenworth. But that one was a T680, and then a situation arose where I was able to pick up the next gen Kenworths, and they're very nice trucks. That was also the first company where I got into my first 579 Pete for a little while as well. And that was where going from a Kenworth to a Peterbilt was it's a pretty big shift. The sleeper orientation and the way, or sleeper orientation, I should say, the way that the sleepers are set up from factory are very different from each other. Peterbilts don't have as much space in the back as the T680s do. The T680s also have a full built-in table that swings out at like a 90-degree angle from the bed, and it's big enough to put a laptop and have like a gaming mouse with you. Like I played quite a bit of games on my laptop in that truck because the table was big enough. Well, come on, let's find the gear there. There we go. I promise I know what I'm doing. Sometimes. But yeah, this is my first time I've spent any length of time inside a Peterbilt, and I haven't seen the next gen Peterbilt 579s yet. I've seen photos of them. I've never actually had the opportunity to be inside one yet. And I mean, I guess to each their own. I mean, you really wouldn't be changing much going from a 567 to a next gen 579. You know, all this is digital now, and you know, you get the smart nav screen, which our company opted for the 6 mechanical gauges in this truck, which I actually don't mind. I like these, and I've actually had fewer problems with this radio than the smart nav. I've had quite a few issues with the smart nav in the past, where the Bluetooth connectivity would just wig out and it would go all sorts of weird. And you could never like open up like the Bluetooth list in it. So you could never like select a device. It would just freak out every so often, and then you just couldn't connect a phone. But I've never had that problem in this, or with this radio. Oh, and all the Packard radios shut off randomly in the middle of your drive, so that one's cool too. Doesn't matter how new or how old the truck is. The next gen that I drove had under 300,000 miles on it, and even that one would shut off. I don't know, they would shut off, but then it would reboot throughout the day. It was actually really annoying. But yeah, we in just a minute here, we'll be crossing into Pennsylvania. Hubbard, Ohio is the last eastbound stop on 80 before you cross into Pennsylvania. So it's a good checkpoint, I guess, if you will, if you're ever driving out east and you needed to find that one final rest, or, you know, rest stopper. You know what? ADD moment. That's what I need. I need a W900 fully chromed out. Beautiful truck. And there's Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's you know what? I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh well, we'll find it. Oh, Hubbard, Ohio being the last place to stop. If you're ever going into Pennsylvania by way of I-80 or anything out east by way of I-80, and you cross into Pennsylvania through 80 eastbound, that Pilot's is the last stop in Ohio. But I highly recommend it. I've been going there for years. I think I've been going there since I started my driving career. Every opportunity I get to stop at Hubbard, I stop at Hubbard. Showers are always really nice. Bathrooms are always very nice. They got a Denny's. Food selection's pretty good. It's definitely not run down. So, yeah, it's a nice area. And this is gonna be how our day's gonna go for the next couple of hours. So it's just gonna be getting into some scenic shots here. Got a little bit of green starting to pop up on the trees, just a little bit. Good bit of scenery change. The one nice thing about driving out here is that you can see the scenery change. Also, the best area to drive during the fall. 100%. You can't change my mind. This is the best route to take during the fall time. So, anywho, we'll get some shots here, and we'll end up picking up probably once we get into Mill Hall, and we'll get settled in for the night. So, stick around, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Good evening, guys. So, I was sitting here, just finished up the third vlog, and I've kind of been chipping away at the fourth. And I realized I was one clip short, and I never bothered to get an ending clip for the fourth vlog. So, we're gonna be up here in a few hours, and we're gonna take off and make our way into New York. We're gonna get some really sick footage of us going over the bridge, going into New York, into Long Island, and then tomorrow will probably be a pretty scenic day with the video editing, just because tomorrow will be a shorter day. But maybe I could take the advantage of, you know, running through some of my favorite truck stops in the area. I think my goal is to stay at one of them. But yeah, we'll wrap this up for the night, because I'm about ready to head back to bed and pick this up in the morning. Have a good night.